Today we're going over complex numbers, and the notes themselves are not super long. But we also kind of want to discuss, I got observed on Monday after your class. So one of the things her and I talked about was the suckage that is Blackboard. I got permission for Trig to go back to Google Classroom. So if you're game for that, we can do that. I still have to put all of your grades in Blackboard, so that'll be where you check your grades, but it won't be the end of the world. Everything else will go through Google Classroom, because at least then we know it's not going to suck quite as bad when you're trying to upload stuff. I also asked her why the book was wrong, and she goes, "It's not wrong," and I showed her the problem, and she goes, "Nope, that's wrong," and I went, "I know. Why did I have to get in an argument with somebody?" And they told me, "No, it's right." No, it's not. So she's working on that. And then I have to teach stats next term, and we were discussing that. And I have to go through a training because apparently, me having taught statistics for 4 or 5 years and graded AP tests isn't good enough. The guy was like, "I'm sorry, you're not a priority. You're going to have to wait until closer to January." And I'm like, "I will fight you. Because if you send me an email and demand that I come in over break, I'm charging you $150 an hour. Like, Your procrastination does not constitute an emergency on my part. I'm not playing that game." So, that was basically how the meeting went. And there were a couple girls in the room when I started the conversation, and literally the first question I asked was, "Why does Blackboard suck?" Verbatim. So, that's that. What do we remember about complex numbers? Anything? Come on, talk to me. What do you remember? They are a number. But what kind of number? Not a zero. Well, technically it is a complex zero. It's not real. All right. What does I equal? Yeah, square root of a -1. Remember all this?
Yeah.
So, I squared is just -1. I cubed is negative square root of -1. Yep. And I to the 4th is a +1. What else do we remember? What do you got, Shane? Yes, we cannot have i's in the denominator. What else? What form do they come in? It's BI, we remember that. Somewhat. You're like, we discussed it. I remember that. Alright, so they always come in the form A plus BI or A minus BI. Do you guys remember the word conjugate? Okay, so conjugates are just where they kind of change in the middle. So if I have A plus BI, my conjugate would be A minus BI. And remember, complex zeros always have to come in pairs. Okay? I clicked red. Seem like crap we remember? A little bit. You're like, we saw it. I don't remember how it works. Alright, so we've got a couple of different theorems here. So the fundamental theorem of algebra just says if you have a complex polynomial, then it's going to have complex zeros. Let's be real. It's got complex in the name. And then I'm almost completely done grading all of the quizzes from yesterday. so you guys should get them back soon. All right. Can I scroll past fundamental theorem of algebra? Can I scroll past that next theorem? That next theorem is literally just saying, like, you can factor a complex polynomial and have the complex zeros in the factored out form. That's literally all that second theorem is saying. Do we need any more time with that one? All right, we about ready to do that example? Yes, no, maybe? All right, so do we have any ideas on where we would want to start? So what are they asking us for? The two remaining zeros. Don't overcomplicate this. All right. I've got 5i. What's the conjugate pair for 5i? Yeah. Hey, look, I'm halfway done. All right. What's my other complex zero? Oh, you stupid thing. Yep, so my other complex zero is 1 minus I. What should be my missing pair? Yeah. I'm going to show you on the next one. Because it gets a little ugly, but it's manageable. All right, how do we feel about that? We okay? Yeah, don't overcomplicate it. I'm not asking you for the factored out thing. You don't have to go find anything else. You just need to know that you are missing that conjugate pair. All right. Take a second. Let's get that last example written down. One multiplicity of 2. I'm just being a jerk and you guys are paying attention. All right, what do we think? Ready? All right, so that last one that's on there, I need to actually go through and write everything out in standard form. So it's going to kind of suck. All right. It's still manageable. It's just, it gets a little weird at times. Where did I put? There it is. All right, so we need to find a polynomial of degree 4 whose coefficients are real, and I've got 3 zeros given to me so far. 1, 1, and -4 plus I. So let's start with the 1 and the 1. This is going to be x minus 1 quantity squared. Yes, because it's got a multiplicity, it's touch. All right, can I go through and actually like FOIL that whole thing out? Do you guys know how to do that one quickly? What is it? Good. You would be shocked. I have a lot of people who are still trying to distribute the negative. Like, every time you do that, some old mathematician kills a puppy. Stop it. All right, you actually need to go through and FOIL it completely out. All right, so I'm halfway done. The next part is dealing with the i's. All right, so if I have to write this in factored form, I've got x minus 1 quantity squared. Now I got to deal with the i's. When you go to write the i's, it's always x minus whatever the 0 is. Put double parentheses around it, and then do your conjugate. Nice and gross? All right. I am okay with you leaving factored form like this. Just make sure you've got the double, like the nested parentheses, because it's always minus whatever the 0 is. Okay? Now, if we have to go through and rewrite this out in standard form, I've got to go through and FOIL everything out. Okay? So, it's going to get a little ugly. It's going to be fine, though. If you had me before, remember the 3x3 Punnett squares? That's what we're doing. Okay? So, we're going to mess with this, and it's going to be x minus a negative makes it positive, plus 4 minus I on top, and then it's going to be x plus 4 plus I down here on the side. People suck. We're going to ignore them. All right. How many of you have already started this multiplication? A couple of you? That's fine. So remember, it's rows by columns, and I always just do one row at a time. You know, why are people so stingy with math pens? Keep those in the car in case of emergencies. All right, how we feel about that? We okay? What do we notice? Yeah, all of the stuff with the i's cancel out. Those two are gone and these two are gone. What is up with this one? Yeah, it becomes just a positive 1. So I squared is negative 1. What's negative times negative? That makes it a positive. So this entire monstrosity, all of the i's go away. It gets a little prettier to work with, but I am left with x squared plus 8x plus 17. Have I completely foiled out this entire monster yet? No. Yep, I gotta do the last bit using what we did earlier, which was x squared minus 2x plus 1 times the one I just got. For those of you who haven't had me, how many of you are like, I like the Punnett square method? Makes multiplication a heck of a lot easier. Little less scary. Oh yeah, because insurers are leaving Florida right now, aren't they? Lovely. What do we think? They okay? Put it all together? So make sure you pay attention. Most of the time on your diagonals, you will have like terms. Okay? So that's one of the nice things about Punnett squares is sometimes you can find little patterns. But we end up, if we have to write this out in standard form, I've got x to the 4th plus 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 26x plus 17. I mathed okay? Why not? All right. So this is literally it for notes for today. If you did not get homework 3 done for chapter 5, I will take it for full points up until 4 o'clock today. So y'all got the rest of class to work.